Take a deep breath in, people. It's time for, hey, I got something to say. And today I'm here with Heidi. I can't help it. Do everybody always say Heidi, Heidi ho?
Always grew up with that. Oh yeah.
Heidi Rome. I'll make sure. Heidi Rome.
Okay.
I'm so glad you're here, Heidi. I'm so glad.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here, Sandy. Thank you.
And yes, I'm going to bore you. Another person I met that's amazing from HPS, Heroic Public Speaking. But what can I say? They attract the best people, don't they?
Of course. Of course.
All right. So before we get started, I just have to say a few things to the people. First of all, I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. You've been sending me so many great speaking gigs. Heidi's a great speaker, so we're going to talk about that soon, and clients. And I am really appreciating that you're subscribing, because I think for about 12 years, I forgot to tell people to subscribe. I'm not kidding you. So now I'm like, go subscribe. It means the world to us. Share it with somebody. There's absolutely going to be at least one person you're going to want to share. Right, Heidi? Just one.
100%.
All right. But let me tell you a little bit about Heidi before we get into the thick of things. Heidi Rome is a speaker, author, advocate, and perspective changer. I love that. I love that. Helping organizations understand oh my goodness. Do you understand? This is like so important to me how you have said this. Perspective changer, helping organizations understand the transformative power of acceptance. Oh my God, over fixing for ourselves as well as others. I just want to stop there. Helping organizations understand the transformative power of acceptance over fixing for ourselves as well as others. Oh my God, so needed. Through my keynote, Love, Don't Fix, I share insights from my journey with my autistic son that help parents, organizations, and caring communities create more meaningful communications with those they support. My message goes beyond autism to touch anyone seeking to embrace differences rather than trying to fix them. I love it.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love and I keep, when I see that, it's so powerful. Acceptance over fixing.
you. Right.
It's crazy, and we all need that. All right, so let's start. When I asked you for the one thing you want to tell women and men that support us around the world, you came up with love, don't fix. So hard, so hard, so hard. Our job on the planet to love and accept ourselves and each other as is. Well, Heidi, go for it. Why'd you pick that one?
Oh my goodness. Because I think that is everyone's job on the planet. Like, if you say, what is my purpose on this planet? Why was I born? What is the meaning of life? I think that's it. Love and accept ourselves and love and accept each other and be in service to others, in being in service to ourselves. And it's in being service to ourselves that we are in service to others. I mean, I think that is the universal. And it plays out individual by individual, and it will look completely different based on the individual human being living into that purpose of humanity.
Mm. You know, when I read that, I thought, I think every single human needs to hear this message, because I always try not to do that. I must admit, I try, but there's times I think, oh, if I could just have them do this or
Yeah,
tweak that,
right.
they would be so much happier.
Right.
So,
They would, of course.
and
If
especially when there are people you love. So we're going to hit you hard right now. Okay, we're going to go in for some big questions I got for you.
Okay, okay. By the way, what you said is exactly what Michael Port, channeling heroic for a moment, when he, they talk about for speaking, who's your fractal? Who's your target audience? Who is this for? Because obviously you always speak into that understanding of the humans who will be listening to this. And when I said anyone who has ever thought that to love is to fix and to fix is to love, and it's the same thing, and that when you love someone, it's your job to fix them, that's who my audience is. And he's like, you mean everyone?
Yes. I know it's hard.
Right? Really?
It's like
I
I
was taught
want
that
everyone to
from
be,
before birth.
yeah. It's like I want everyone to feel mentally and physically fit. Who's your audience? Everyone. All right. So because of my audience,
Yes.
who I love, and they seek self-growth and knowledge. They're good people. I got a lot of questions about them having loved ones that have mental health issues.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go, and I make up names. So we're going to go with
Okay.
one of them because it really hits a bunch of them. Dear Heidi, I get it. Don't fix, love my child. But it's very difficult when I see my child, what I consider suffering, especially when they seem to want help. And I don't have the answers. I feel so helpless. My daughter suffers from depression, and I feel most days there's nothing I can do to help her. Please guide.
I totally get it. I mean, to be a parent and watch your child suffer,
Mm,
I mean, every fiber of your being is, I want to help my kid.
yeah.
I don't want my kid to suffer. And the reality, and it's an and, the reality is that every human being, we come in alone, we go out alone. We
I
each,
write that down. And I know I'm supposed to be the joyful laughter one, but I had to hit you hard with this because this is tough.
okay, it is tough. And I don't have, by the way, Sandy, if you thought I was going to have an easy answer, I'm sorry, I should go right now.
No, no, I didn't think there was one. Otherwise, wave your magic wand. Bye
I
bye.
I don't have an easy answer, but I have a powerful one.
Ooh, snap. I love that.
Well, because here's the thing.
Okay.
Everyone is the captain of their own life. The most caring mother in the world, I cannot live my child's life for him or her. I can't. I can only walk beside you. I can only be a guide. I can only be a Sherpa. Hey,
Mhm.
I have a rope. Remember your rope. But you have to climb the mountain of your own life. So
Mm,
I can have compassion and empathy and bring the rope, bring the tools, bring the food, pack an extra sandwich.
mm,
But you have to find it for you to climb the mountain of your life. And one of the most powerful things in certainly a parent relationship, and it's true though for all relationship, loving, caring relationship, or any relationship actually, because as human beings, we're all connected, I
yeah,
believe. Our kids feel, we feel what the other people are feeling. And we're actually,
absolutely.
that's brain science also. It's not just woo woo. Oh, isn't that sweet? I mean, that's brain science that the mirror neurons, when we're in connection with people, when you witness someone, if I witness your experience, if I witness you hugging your kid, the neurons in my brain go, oh, I know what that feels like. And I have the same experience in my mind and my body witnessing you hugging your kid as if I were hugging my own kid. We're built for this. We're built,
Mm,
that's empathy. That's I get what that feels like. So when you describe a mom with a kid with depression, a kid of any age,
yeah,
my heart opens to that mom, that kid. But here's the thing, for that mom right now who is writing in, number one, the best thing she can do for her daughter is take care of her, herself, the mom. If she's depressed, she's not going to be of much help for the depressed kid.
it's true.
If
Heidi,
she is
so true.
self-nurturing and says, how can I find joy in my life right now? And it might just be, I love this coffee, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is of support, number one, to mom, putting her oxygen mask on first. And the kid is witnessing mom taking care of mom. And mom is saying, I want you to take care of you, kid. I want you to take care of what do you need? I'm with you. I'm going to help you. But only you can identify what you need, what you want, what's missing for you that we can look
Mm,
at. But only the individual can take action, can have awareness, can do any of the
mm.
things to move toward the solution instead of fixate on the problem. If you keep looking at the problem, you're going to have more of the problem. But it's the same energy to look at the problem as to look at the solution. If we turn and say, okay, I see this problem, what if we shift our gaze? Because wherever the problem is, there's the solution is right there, not a million miles away. Look, when you want the solution, well, where's the problem? Okay, the answer will be there. But we need to untangle it because we're so focused on the problem, we don't hear that the solution is coming out of our mouth.
So while you were saying that, and I know it's so easy, but like you said, it's so easy, but so powerful. I remember years ago, someone saying, Sandy, you can't get sick enough to help a sick person.
Yes.
You can't get sad enough to help a sad person. You can't get poor enough to help a poor person.
Yes.
And it's so basic, like,
It's
but it's powerful. And I never forgot that, you
so
know?
true. It was Albert Einstein, by the way, who said, he said it better than I'll be paraphrasing him, that the same consciousness that created the problem cannot create the solution. You have to raise your consciousness, raise your awareness, open the field of possibility to find solution. If you're stuck looking at the problem and the situation and all that happened before in the past and the limitation, you're going to stay there. It's only when you say, I can't just look, I can't keep having the same conversation over and over and over again and expect a different result. What would I love?
Mm.
What do I want? What's possible? What if I could? That's you raise your eyes and go, oh, there it is.
Mm.
And it doesn't have to, it can be an inch further, 1 inch away from this problem, 1 inch away
Yeah.
out of the muck, because then the further you go, the further you see. Take one step and the vista changes. Change one thing here. Oh, now what? Huh, I didn't see that before. I didn't see them before. I didn't see. Now what? Oh,
Mm.
it's a different story. It's a possible solution. Who can help? Who can support? Or, uh-oh, that didn't work. Whoops, let me try something else. But you respond to the feedback as a witness,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
from learning, not judgment.
There's so much to unpack there, but let's just stay with love, not fix.
Right.
I think it's can be a bit easier when it's not your own family, especially your child.
Of
I
course.
think your real lessons come in when it's your child because you have that energetic, like you said, attachment to them.
Right.
So,
Sandy, everything I'm saying is
yeah,
because I spent years trying to fix Ethan. Hello. I'm not coming. I'm not talking to you from the Ivory Tower Express. Like, oh, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think it'd be really nice to accept people and not judge them. And I think that would be a great idea, and we should all do it. Like, are you kidding? Like, what time is it? When was the last time I tried to fix? Like, hello? Because I, it's such an ingrained
yeah,
habit, lesson,
yeah,
and thinking that they're the same because they often look the same. But the difference is often the intention. Am I, why am I doing this thing?
yeah,
If I'm
yeah,
doing it for your greater good, because it's something that is for your good, will serve your need, will serve your purpose, move you forward in your life. That's very different than do it because I think you're broken and you better get your act together and let me fix you because then I'm a good mother if I fix you versus
yeah,
you're screwed up versus, hey, what's going on? Where's a win-win here? How can we move forward? What would feel good to you and honor everything else that's going on? Different conversation, even if the specific steps you take are identical. But where are you coming from? What is the energy of that?
mm,
Because the person feels it. The person feels, oh, you're dragging me because you think there's something wrong with me, you're trying to fix me. Or I hear that you don't know what to do, but we're going to try this because it feels like a good idea.
yeah, yeah.
A whole different thing.
Okay. So maybe we should just back up a little bit and talk about your son and your journey because you mentioned it and we touched on it. But let's dive a little bit deeper on how, because I know your greatest lessons, you said, have come from
Yes.
your son, Ethan.
Yeah, because Ethan, he's my younger son. He's now 19 and he has severe autism. He's a non-speaker.
Mm,
So he has some language, some unreliable language, it's called, and so it's very limited. It's mostly food. And thank God he has that amount of language. Not all people do. He has that language and can express those needs. However, and to look at Ethan, I mean, I was told when he was 5 years old that I brought him into New York, this full panel of testing, and I only remember they gave me a binder that could choke a horse, and I remember one line at the end, which was that at the age of 5 years old, that Ethan had the mental capacity of a 5-month-old infant.
mm, mm,
And it was shattering, Sandy, absolutely
mm.
shattering. It was the worst news, honestly, I have ever received to this day, including death news. That was the worst news ever.
Yeah,
Um, and it changed everything. It changed how I viewed Ethan, what was possible for him, what was possible for me. And it gave put me on a mission to fix him because I really did equate loving and fixing. That if I love my child and is this autism at the time, it was like, well, you know, change his behavior and fix him, make him
yeah,
look normal. And
yeah,
that was the path we took that didn't do anything, but it was actually just made things worse in our case, uh,
Mm.
without focusing on the behavior. And in this country, that is the gold standard. Um, don't get me wrong, dealing with behavior is important and it has a role,
Yep.
but when it becomes an end unto itself, it's actually diabolical. Because then it's about coercion and not allowing a person whose nervous system is different to express even the
Yeah.
involuntary things that happen with a distressed nervous system. So when we changed schools for Ethan, and so when he was 9, we moved schools, and thank God this is the only one of its kind in New Jersey where I am, and they had a different school motto, which was presume competence. And their feeling was everyone is capable of whatever, to whatever degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Presume that they can they'll do their best, good intention. They're doing their best, and let's support them, no more, no less. And that's another critical piece. You know, the Goldilocks just right, not too much and not too little. If it's too little, it's not enough. They can't do it. If it's too much, you're an enabler. Then they rely on you to do things they can do for themselves. Just right support. So that is their approach based on relationship and play. And they also offered alternative communication techniques. And those are controversial for another day. However, um,
Yeah.
they offered this, thank God, that Ethan has what's called apraxia, which means the body doesn't always listen to the brain, and that's an issue. And this type of communication supports the nervous system, which allows him to stop being as impulsive and calm down in the moment, resist a certain pressure to access what do I want to say now? And what we do when we pick up a pen, right? We're syncing
Yeah.
up that we don't know every word. I don't know every word I'm about to write, but I'm syncing up, I'm signaling, okay, hand, access, begin
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
express. And that's what this typing technique does. And Ethan, the kid I was told had the mental capacity of a 5-month-old, started to express things through the typing.
Mm.
I mean, he knew the keyboard, they had taught it just to copy, which is not creative thought. And he started typing stuff. A quick example, his first week at this new school, when he was 9, uh, the teacher actually called me. She said, I had an exchange with Ethan. I'm like, uh-oh, exchange? He doesn't do exchange. You mean back and forth? Like, no. She says, yeah, I said to him, Ethan, you're at this new school now a week. Can you give me 3 words? She told me later she wanted to keep it super easy, no demand, no. And she thought he'll say, she said, how do you like it? And she thought he'll say, hate, hate it, loud, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason she was calling was that the 3 words that Ethan typed in response to her question, basking in joy.
Mm.
What? Who talks?
Mm.
We don't talk like that around here. I like, really? And Sandy, he went on. I would go in, we would work on the communication, and he would be typing these things. I have ideas for peace. Really? Can you give us an example? I think he was 10.
Yeah.
Let people make their own decisions. Don't make them fight if they want peace.
Mm.
Like, what the heck? Really? Like, and so fast forward. I was still trying to fix him though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I thought that's loving him. It's my job to fix this broken kid. And I was dragging him every kind of therapy, every kind of, I was going to symposia, I was going to taking classes, we were traveling to California for this cookie
Yeah. Yeah.
therapy, all this stuff. I was insane. And because I was gonna fix this kid. So one day I go in, I'm typing with Ethan, and the teacher says to me, so, you know, we're gonna type to practice, just everyday things, pretty boring, just to get him in the mode of communicating. So, what does he do every day? Let's talk about something familiar. When he's not in school, what do you do with him? Where do you go? What's going on? She thought, oh, I take him to the park. She thought
Oh
she
my goodness.
she thought she's going to get an easy answer. As you can tell already, I don't do simple, easy things. I do find the hard thing, and there I'm trying to do a hard thing. So
Yeah.
I say to her, oh. Every minute that Ethan is not in school, we are doing something to address his autism.
Wow.
So we're doing physical therapy twice a week, occupational therapy twice a week, speech therapy twice a week, yoga for the special child twice a week, Chinese medicine, homeopathy, methyl B12 injections, um, on and on, neurologists, yeah, all this, lasers. I think she's stunned. She's listening to me rant and rave, and I'm going on. Hey, we're thinking of stem cell transplantation in Panama, and I read an article that in Ukraine you can go swim with dolphins, and I think there's something about a bear, and I'm like, oh my God. So Ethan, in the midst of my litany, reaches over to the letterboard. And we both, Lisa, the teacher, and I, we both laugh because he was never in a hurry to get to work.
Yeah.
Reaches over and we're like, oh, Ethan, you have something you want to say to mom. He types, I'm tired.
Oh,
I felt the air leave my body. And I'm embarrassed to tell you, I argued with him. Ethan, buddy, this is to help you. It's to help you feel better and
yeah.
and do better. And and then I thought, you know, I remembered selective because I had had selective memory, I guess, that when I would go, for example, for the physical therapy and he would be doing playing basketball or obstacle courses or all the physical therapy stuff. And the therapist said to me, sometimes in the middle of everything, Ethan will lie down on the court and close his eyes.
Oh,
And of course, in the behavior world, that's work avoidance. Oh, come on, buddy. Get
yeah.
back. Keep going, keep doing. And it hit me. He's exhausted. Oh my God. He is tired. That was not work avoidance. That was
Yeah.
and I thought, oh my God. So that was when the light bulb went on for the first time about what am I doing? Like if that's his experience, which I had not thought of because I was making it about me, not him, that man, that was a new point of view I had not seen. So I did back off. Did less and less of that stuff. And that was good. We did less. But here's the thing. He still had autism and he was approaching puberty. He was 11. And the nervous system of any young man starts going berserk. And his especially was like, it was dangerous, actually.
Mm.
He was harming himself, harming us. He was putting his head through the walls of the house.
Yeah.
He had to have an emergency MRI to check he hadn't detached his retinas. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
nightmare. And we
Oh.
made the decision for him to go to a residential school.
Mm.
And I knew he was okay with that decision. I felt like I had failed the
Yeah.
fix.
I get it. Yeah.
it was rough. He was okay. He had typed. They had asked him, "Huh, hey, how do you feel about going?" And made him a beautiful memory book, and we love you, we'll miss you. And there was a page called Ethan's Wisdom.
Oh, I
And
love that.
oh, it was so hard. And I didn't know anything about it. Like, I hadn't, he hadn't done that with me. The teacher had said to him, how do you feel about going? And this page had what he had typed in response. I'll miss the school, but my journey takes me to Boston.
Mm,
I'm making a huge change and I feel brave. Don't be sad for me.
mm,
Are quitters a failure or choosing a different path to success? Like, okay,
yeah,
what? So then I knew his new school did not accept the typing. I told you it was controversial.
yeah. Why
Um,
is it controversial? Because I want to back up. I know we're running out of time, and
oh,
there's so much going on, and I didn't want to cut you off because
okay,
we have not touched on this subject ever,
okay,
ever. But just so the audience understands, I want the takeaways in there just to pause a second.
of
But
course.
why was it controversial? Or is it still controversial?
Yes. Yeah, they're actually position papers against it because they think that because in the early stages, as the person is getting trained in how to use their body to communicate with the typing using the large muscles instead of
Mhm.
fighting the small muscles, which are very difficult for these people, um, there's touch. And because there's touch involved with some of these techniques, some don't have any touch and much more cumbersome, but these that require some touch in the beginning, the accusation is that even unwittingly you're
I
influencing
gotcha. I gotcha.
not the kid typing, it's you
Yeah.
typing.
But whatever the case,
Yeah.
let's talk about when Ethan is communicating to you and giving you that guidance. Is that where you started to think, what am I doing trying to fix him? Like, when did that click in your head?
So it opened up when he typed I'm tired, and then when he was about to leave and go to this school, and I said to him finally, you know, there was this whole other conversation because I guess time was running out and I just
Yeah.
like let
Yeah.
loose. And he typed about his autism
Yeah.
not as a disorder, but as a chosen path and his spiritual journey. And when I said to him in my fixing mode, my loving and fixing mode,
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
what can what can we do to help you? He typed to me, you just have to love me. And that is your job. The rest is my job to
Oh
do.
my God. Ah,
That was a transformative
you
moment.
think?
You think? Really, like, you think that's what said, Heidi, get a grip. The wave of relief that went through me in that moment, I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
that was
God.
my job. That was my job. Love you? Talk, that was easy. The wave of, I remember the thought was, I can do that. Love you? Now, for another time, loving is not just the warm and fuzzy. Wh- what is it to love? And love is, I am here for you no matter what.
Yeah.
In your best interest, for your best interest, what is in service to you and to me, both. It is both
Yeah.
because both souls have to be honored here.
Yeah. Believe it or not, we're going to have to bring you back because it's supposed to be like a 30-minute show, and there's so much amazing information to draw from it. And I love your story. I could listen to you forever, ever, ever, ever. But I think for my audience sake, I just want to recap
Yes.
some of the things that tools that they can take away and actually apply.
Okay.
And I know you have listed here, and I just want to make sure we just get them in.
Yeah.
Breathe, hug yourself. Remember that behavior is communication. And then you just mention it. Love asks two questions.
Yes.
How can I be of service? And what is needed in this moment?
That's right. For the other person and for you.
Mm,
Not, it's not either or, it's an and.
mm. I know some of my friends and colleagues around the subject of dealing with children, all types of kids that might be in a really bad way. Let's forget just they're in a really bad way.
Right.
And the most difficult thing that they talk about is when they feel like everything they tried to be of service is not working because the child, we'll talk about child, these are, most of them are like 18 and above,
Right.
are not in a space that they can receive
Right.
or have the capacity. And I think that's so beyond ridiculously tough to accept. I can only serve if they're willing to receive or they have the capacity to receive. But when they don't, to be able to love and let go.
The challenge is for that suffering young person, maybe a question to ask them for themselves, not even tell anyone else, but for themselves.
Yeah.
What do I need? How can I love me right now?
Mm,
And if they want to share that, great. Because it always comes down to how do I love myself? I cannot love another if I don't love myself first.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
what the question, and maybe that's a hopeful, I would hope, a hopeful opportunity for that suffering person to ask that question. What would bring me joy? What do I need? What would love look like right now? What is
Mhm.
that for me now? And they may not even immediately know. So can they play with that idea? Can they dream on that? Can they journal on that? Can they, go to the beach and just relax in the sand around that? And what comes up? Is there a feeling, a memory, a
Mhm.
piece of music, glimpse of color? What is it that would just soothe my soul right now for me to answer, what do I need? What is my need? Because only that person can answer that. The most loving mother cannot get into the brain and know what you need. You must, individual person, you must
True.
share that.
Yeah.
If you need support, the support has to match the need or it's useless. We can
Yes.
only walk with you. That
Mhm.
mom, the most, I want to help, you're there for them.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they are the captain of their ship.
Yeah. Heidi, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you, Sandy.
I mean, honestly, we do have to have you back because I keep writing notes and there's no way. It's supposed to be a 30-minute show and it's
I'm
like,
sorry.
I don't want to miss anything. But I do feel it's so important. Like there isn't an individual out there that doesn't need this message or be reminded of this message. So many times we go, what did somebody just say the other day to me? You logically are explaining your emotions. Logically, but it doesn't mean you're able, yeah,
Oh.
to
They're
process.
talking about their feelings. They're not feeling the feelings
Yeah.
because
And
we protect ourselves that way.
yep,
And that's a habit,
yep,
but we can change that habit.
absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I think for now, I would like you just to give us a few things that you can say to the audience, takeaways that they could put into practice immediately.
Yes.
Because
Mhm.
this is a lot to digest, and I wanted to be like, okay, these are a few things I could do. And I know we might have mentioned them, but I want to recap it.
Yep. Good.
Cool beans?
Cool beans.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Go for it, Heidi.
Okay. Number one, take a deep breath. Seriously. I mean, a deep breath at least three, because that really helps your brain and body and heart sync up because it tells all of you that you're safe in this moment.
Mhm.
And that act turns everything on. Because when you're in fear, as most of us walk through life in fear, we're in fight or flight. We don't have many options. So take that deep breath. Number two, the hug. And no kidding, give yourself love because who doesn't need more? And what you're also doing physiologically is you're crossing midline, left to right, right to left. That is going to create energetic coherence in your brain and your body. So it's a great thing to do and it feels really good.
Yeah, it does
So
feel good.
breath, hug, and then love's two questions. How can I be of service? What is needed in this moment?
Mm.
And love is number one for you. And then you're filling your own cup and you can then extend that love to others. And
Mm.
it's the yin yang here. It's at some point the giver and receiver merge. So don't worry so much about, well, love me first or love you first. Don't worry about it. It's the giving and receiving of love. There's no beginning or end. So just go with that flow. Ask the two questions, honor your inner knowing, because when you take that breath and you go within and you come from love and good intention and the presumption of competence, you will listen and you will be amazed at the wisdom that will come up and whisper in your ear, try this, try this. And it will answer you for the next moment, not a year from now, not 10 minutes from now. Now, try this.
I
And
love
you
that.
learn from there. You'll learn from there. The learning
Yep.
never ends.
All right, hey, I got something to say, people. I so appreciate you spending the time with us. And Heidi and I will really appreciate you sharing, liking, and rating it and subscribing. But before we go, Heidi, how can they find you? They want to book you for when they want to book you for their keynote or anything else. How can they find you?
The easiest thing, go to my website, HeidiRome.com, and the contact information is there.
All right, you got it. All right. You know what I'm going to say. I love you guys. Thank you, Heidi, and toodles.
Bye.